I don't even think I can do the whole video. I forgot to turn the microphone on. You would think I'd have figured that out since I can see the scale and it wasn't moving. All right, deep breath. So the intro joke was the solar panel doesn't work if it's not outside. So welcome, my name is Jill. These are kind of an outline of what I do during my day. I'm trying to keep everybody a little caught up right now because all my best plans and good intentions have gone out the window as we are adapting and adjusting to life here in this new place. I'm still in New Mexico, but I am no longer by myself. And there are lots of animals. There's lots of people coming and going. And so I just wanted to do a short update and a little aha moment I had in the course of some of the changes that have been going on here. And the biggest one are the puppies. There's also a kitty. He's not my kitty, or she's not my kitty, but I'm showing you her because she's so cute. And they just grow so fast. I wanted to make sure I got some video of when they're little. But they're just so cute. So it's been kind of a lot of drama and trauma around the puppies. The short version is I took in the boy puppy for 2 days, and we found out 2 more were coming that I hadn't planned on. So now there's 3 puppies, and I cannot keep 3 puppies. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep 1, 2, or none. That's in flux. But for the 2 days that I had the boy puppy, I had this big awareness, this big aha moment. And before I do the aha moment, I just want to preface that with saying, you know, there's so much going on out in the world right now. It's overwhelming with these great big questions. And, you know, I'm really trying to think about those great big questions over at the audio podcast, jillsjournals.substack.com. And you know, what I'm doing over there is really trying to dig in and do the emotional and spiritual work, the internal process of all these great big abstract ideas and personal experiences, because there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of injustice, there's a lot to process through. I am comfortable in that world and I'm good at that world, but we're almost to the main point. There's also like a very practical aspect to life, and right now, the reality is it's spring. There's puppies, there's kittens, there's hummingbirds, which I haven't been able to catch yet. I can't wait to catch them on video. I'm trying to figure out how to rig a camera because they're so fast. There is birds singing. There's something else running around biting me, some kind of weird fly you can't see. It's just, I'm on fire. I'm so itchy. You know, their plants are coming out. The corn and the sunflowers are really starting to grow. We got some tomatoes from the food bank today. Yesterday. We were at the end, so we didn't get much produce, but we got a little bit of produce. We've got lots of tomatoes to make something out of. I'm trying to think what recipe I will use. And everything's blooming, and there's lots of pollen, and so we've got lots of allergies. You can see the pine tree is just starting to spring its new pine cones. So there's a lot of new life, a lot of new birth, and it's very exciting. It's a lot of work, but the stark contrast to everything else that's going on sort of behind the scenes in the big picture, it's interesting. You know, and the takeaway is that nature doesn't care. It just moves forward regardless, you know, if there's a storm coming or not. But the other thing that happened that's really important, I think, right now, and this is my aha, is while I was taking care of the puppy for the first 48 hours I had him, I am super structured. We do the same thing. Me and the dog, every day we do the same thing. You know, I was teaching him the leash. I was teaching him to come to me. Smartest, best puppy I've ever seen or ever had. But I don't have him right now. So I don't know how the puppy story will end. But the awareness I had was I'm really good at being responsible. I'm good at being dependable. I'm good at being structured. I'm good at routine. I'm good at all the things, you know, I talk to you about. But what I've noticed compared to me and everybody else, I am not fun. I don't know how to play. I can barely play with the puppies. I'm just so old and out of practice. And this has been a really new experience for me, because normally when I traveled before and lived in New Mexico before, I was the youngest person. Everybody else was in their 70s and 80s. They were retired. I was the only one working. I was the only one that did the heavy work. Now that's kind of reversed. Like, I'm the old person and I don't have as much physical energy. And I am acutely aware of the fact, and this is the same for Freedom because he's an old man now too, we are not fun. We do not play. We don't even know how to play. That's the other thing I have taken away from this experience. So I am really looking at myself, having to ask some questions about, do I even know how to put that back into my life? I'm not sure. So that's something I'm going to be working on. I think that's something that we'll talk about over on the podcast. Like, how do you have fun anymore? What's fun? You know, the video editing for me is a little bit fun, but it's not like play fun, where I'm laughing and I'm, you know, it's a light energy. So I think that's really important to build in. And, you know, one of the things I remember about the World War II stories is in London, you know, when they were bombing London, even in the midst of all the bombing and the blackout, so they had to black out their curtains at night, they still had parties, they still had dances, they still had concerts. They didn't just quit because they were literally under fire. They had fun. And I think that's a super important component to balance everything else that's going on, because the bad news just doesn't quit coming, and it's scary, but new life is always born. And I think we can take a cue from the babies and the nature that's springing into action all around. How can we just have some fun, right? So I think that's a big question I'm going to be looking at. I decided I wanted to check in with you because any plans I've had are kind of out the window. I'm trying to keep myself on a schedule so that I am accountable to you guys, but things are changing. So we're just doing this little check-in video. It is the first of the month, and so I have decided the first video of the month, the first audio, which I didn't do, which I'll do a second time, is I'm asking for help and support. All the links are below, including a P.O. box that's available now. So if you just want to say hi at the email, or if you want to do a donation at the website, or you want to join Substack, I would be wildly appreciative, because we will be buying dog food and dog toys. We got very active puppies, and we have hungry puppies. The two new ones are pretty malnourished, especially the little white girl one. She's very underweight. So there's lots of excitement, there's lots of change, there's lots of uncertainty, but I thought the most important question for the day, and the takeaway I've had from the last few days, is even though it has been emotionally upsetting and kind of a lot of drama, I don't know how to have fun. And so I hope you do. So that's what we're talking about. So we're just going to take a deep breath. All the links are below. I'm so glad you're here. And I, my friends, will see you next time.